What's going on, guys? Welcome back to 3.0. In today's video, I thought I would revisit the level editing guide because the last video I made was a little unorganized and I was still trying to figure out things and it just wasn't all that great. And what I did was I actually went back through and learned a lot of things last night, as well as I asked Nelson a couple questions and I figured things out a little bit more than what I had figured out last time. So first and foremost, once you get 3.0 up and running, if you want to start making your own map, what you need to do is click on Workshop and then click on Editor. Now, I already have a map made here, test 512 by 512, and you can see the dev test is here, and you can't really do anything to dev test because it's locked. But if you wanted to make a new map, you would just come into the map area and you would type in test 2, and then you can change the size of the map right here. Now, PEI is 2 by 2. The dev test map is 1 by 1, and so 4 by 4 is a pretty good sized map. 8 by 8 is ginormous. I don't know if you want to have that big, but then you would just hit add, and then once it's over here, you just click on edit, and it will allow you to edit the level. Now, once this is entirely up and running, you're going to have a blank canvas here. Now, a couple things to know before you get going. In order to move around, WASD will not work unless you hold down the right mouse button. And then you can WASD around, use your mouse to look around while you move. Shift allows you to move faster, things like that, okay? And then you can also scroll wheel in and out when you're holding right trigger, right mouse button. And then you can also scroll wheel in and out when you're holding right mouse button. So a couple things I didn't know in the last video was how to essentially bake the terrain how you want to make the terrain. So baking essentially means it just pre-applies the texture that you want to an entire area. Now, if you were to bake the terrain, so if you went into terrain and you went into materials and you baked the materials right now, it would all be dirt. And it would be messed up, essentially. You don't want that. What you want to do, like if you're making an island map, is probably have sand at the bottom of the water, because that makes sense. So in order to do that, what you do is find sand in the list here. So here's sand. And I'm going to set this to, I'll just keep it on rocky just to make things easy. What you want to do is, let me kind of explain this. The easiest way to understand this is, so you see this black area, the bottom of it is essentially like level 0, and the sea level is set to level 16. And the way you can know that is if you go to heights, you can see it says sea level 16. Now you can actually change this if you want to make it like really high up or something. 50 doesn't look like you can't do 50. If you want to make it like 1, you can see it's down here, but we're going to keep it at 16 just to simplify things. So 16 is the default. Now, if you want to put sand all the way around the bottom of this thing, what you need to do is go back to your materials, find sand, and make the height 0, because you want the sand to be applied to level 0. So make sure sand is selected, right? Make sure generated is on. Attribute whatever kind of matching you want to. This will be matched up with details and resources later. So we're going to keep it on rocky, and then we're going to click bake materials. Make sure sand is selected, okay? Bake materials. So now you can see level 0 is now essentially sand. So that's what we want. We want sand. So now you might be asking, well, how do you get grass? Because a lot of people have been painting on the texture, and you can do that if you want to, but there's an easier way to do this. So if you go back to heights, and let's say you raise up levels, let's say you want level 17 to be grass, okay? So in order to get level 17 to be grass, you first need to raise your land to about level 17. We're just going to guess. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just do like 5 clicks. Okay, so now you can see that the sand has like protruded from the water, and there's an actual beach area now. So now what you need to do is, it's very simple. Go back to materials, find your grass. I'm going to put it on grassy 1 and grassy 2. Uncheck rocky. Set your height to, let's do 17. And then make sure grass is clicked, and then hit bake materials. So now you can see we have grass over most of this on level 17 and above that. And level 16 is still, 16 below is still sand, essentially. So now we have this grass area. Now let's say I want to make a mountain or something. So go back to your heights, And let's set the size to like something low, and then let's make it over here, because I'm gonna actually like make a map right now. Let's just do this. So we want to do like, yeah, we want like some rocky looking mountains or something, right? Something like that. Okay, so not all of this is going to be able to be textured over, but let's say we want to make this a stone texture. So we go back to materials, and we find stone in the list. Make sure it's selected. Let's keep it on rocky. It should still work, I think. And change the height to like 40 or something. And then make sure it's selected and hit bake materials. So now you can see that there's some stone texture on here. So let's say we wanted to do like 30 and above stone. Make sure it's selected and hit bake materials. So now you can see it's kind of moved down the mountain a little bit. And that's how you bake textures. Now you can additionally, let's say that we wanted to make, you know, these smaller areas. This has got some sand here. Let's say we wanted to make this smaller area. This is really weird looking. So let's say we wanted these smaller areas and like the backside to be rocky. Uncheck generated, click stone, and then you can see right here you have this little yellow circle. This is like your brush. Down here in the corner you can change the size of it. Be careful when you do this, because sometimes when you click on the size, it'll like actually like select that area for you. So no, it's too big. Maybe we'll just keep it small. So now you can see I can actually paint this stone color instead of having like the grass and the sand and stuff. So we can make this like even more mountainous area. We can like kind of put some stone texture down here in the where the sand is, and you know, make it look a little bit more like a mountain, because we still have kind of this grassy texture on the front of it, and we want this area to be mountainous looking. So then eventually, we'll cover this here in a second, you would want to essentially match up. So like if we wanted this to be on like flowery or something, and we wanted to get some boulders on this, we'd want to make sure that flowery is matched to like the boulder option in the resources or details. It's probably resources actually, because currently just trees are in resources. I'm pretty sure that's it. And then you'd want to bake those resources onto the stone area using the flowery attribution. So it doesn't make a lot of sense unless you see it done, but we'll cover that here in a bit. So there we go. We got like kind of a mountainy area. That's kind of what we wanted, right? It's kind of cool. The next thing we probably want to cover is like actually baking on some grass and stuff onto this area. So make sure in the grassy area your overgrowth and your chance is turned up, and make sure that's selected, and just bake the materials again to make things look a little bit better, because now you can see there's some fading here instead of it all looking like really rough looking. Essentially smooths everything out. We want to go to details, and let's say we want to add some flowers. Okay, we want to add some flowers. Make sure the density's up to like whatever you want. So let's do a little bit. Chances, like I think this kind of randomizes like with the placement. Make sure grassy 1 and grass 1 and grass 2 is checked, because if you remember in the materials option, grassy 1 and grassy 2 is checked for the grass. You want to put the flowers on the grass. You don't want it to appear on the stone area. The stone area is rocky. Okay, so as long as you don't in the details section put this as rock, it won't appear on rock. So let's say we want to a ton of red flowers, and we want some like a ton of grass, and like randomize the chance. Let's put the chance up a little bit more. This all the way up like that. And let's go. We're going to keep this on 0 because the pebbles cause FPS problems, like severe problems. So now you can see if we click on bake, it put them. Look at all these. Look at all these little grass and flowers and stuff. Let's say, oh, okay, I like the grass, but I don't like the flowers. I don't like the red flowers. Just lower the chance here and density down to 0, click bake, and now you can see that we just have a couple yellow flowers scattered about, right? It looks pretty good. So, in addition to that, let's say you wanted to put trees on your area, which we'll do for now, but we'll take it off in a little bit. What you do is, you're going to go to, let's just select both of these, and we're going to increase the density, the chance all the way up, because I'll just show you what it looks like with a ton of trees on, and then hit bake resources. Look at all these trees. So if you want to make dense, thick forest area, you could do something like this. So I don't want all these trees on right now, so let's go back to resources. Let's put these down all the way back down to 0, and we'll bake the resources again to make them go away. So we got our nice little mountain area. Maybe we want to have a scenic drive-by in the roads. We want roads to drive by. Let's say we want a road to go around the entire island, okay? But let's say you wanted to draw roads all the way around. You'd go to Environment, and you click on Roads, and let's say we wanted this type of road, Highway 0, to go all the way around. What we would do is you just start with, make a starting point, and click, and you just essentially click and make a path. Now you don't want to do something like this because that's too sharp of a turn, and you can see what happens is kind of this line gets really thin, and it causes the road to look really weird. So we don't want to do that. You want to make, if you want to make a turn, you want to make it, you want to make it very like kind of gradual. So let's just say something like that happened where I had it deselected and I clicked over here, and you're like, wait, what the heck? The roads are separate now. How do I get back? If you click, make sure this is red, and if you click each node, you can actually delete individual sections. And then if you click here again, this is selecting this node to start from again. So we're going to kind of just do this going around, and we're gonna do a sandy drive-by here. There are no vehicles in the editor yet, so you can't really, I mean, roads really don't have much of a purpose yet other than for looks. And obviously, you know, this is going to look very, this part right here is going to look very choppy. So if you make multiple, like, very specific nodes, you can probably make it look a little bit better, like this, instead of having like rough kind of turns. And let's say we want to, instead of like, let's say we want to make this, whoops, that's probably too steep, I mean too sharp. I even did it myself. Say we want to make this go up into a neighborhood or something. We just do something like this. And then let's say we're going to put some houses along here or something. So once you have your nodes and your pathway for your road drawn out, let's just make this kind of like go off the map, shall we? Now this should put it above the water, I think. No, because the height's going to be messed up. We'd want to lower that section, maybe. I don't know. We'll work on it. Well, let's just say, for example, this was a bridge, okay? Let's say you want to bake this road with this highway design. You'd have to click on it and then click Bake Road. So now you can see that there's a roadway going around. So here you can see that kind of a weird, funky thing happened because it was too sharp. And that goes underneath the water, but everything else kind of looks okay, right? Doesn't look too bad. This looks pretty good. Going around here. I won't mess with this. I'll just leave it how it is for the sake of the video to make things go faster. But then let's say like you wanted to have this road thicker. You would change the width from like 4 to like 8 or something, and then hit Bake Roads again, and it made it, you can see it makes it thicker. So I'm going to keep it at 4 just for this. And then let's say you wanted to have like, maybe you want to have like a little dirt path coming off of here. Whoops. Make sure it's a new selection. So like click next here, and then let's see, we want to have like a dirt path coming off here or something, like up to a barn or something. You could click Trail, and then Bake Roads, and now you can see that it's made like a dirt trail here. But let's say that you're like, oh, it's uneven like that. Make sure click this little section here, hit delete, and you can see how it deletes that part of that node. Click here again. And then let's click like right here, Bake Roads again. So now you can see it kind of moved, right? So let's say that you're like, oh, it's uneven or something. You can actually change the depth of the road. So if you wanted to make this like higher, you could do that, and you can see like it's above. Or if you wanted to decrease, like gradually go down, you could probably do node by node and do like 0.8, 0.7, 0.6 and do that if you wanted to. But we're going to do it like 0.4. And then that way, it's like a separate kind of thing. And let's say that's too thick, so we're going to change the width down to like 2 or something. Bake that on. So now we got like a little nice dirt path, and it's still kind of high. So let's change it to like 0.2. There we go. And you can see how like this dirt texture looks kind of stretched. Why is it 2W? Why is it? Change the height of it to like 8 or something. And you can see that, like, you see how the texture changed right here? It looks a little bit more like dirt-like. So that's how you do roads. So now let's say you want to put a house in or something. You want to put some houses in here. How do you do that? Well, go to Objects, and then click Large for large houses. And let's say we want to put a large house in here. Select whatever you want to select. So like house 1. And then hit E. And now you can see that we have a house put down. Now you can raise and lower this if you want, or reposition this however you want to reposition this. So the door's like right there, so let's move this way. So Q is transform, W is rotation. So Q is transform, W is rotation. So we're going to drag this red one, which is the axis to move this way. Blue is the axis to move this way. This moves it up and down. So we're going to put this up against the road, like maybe, let's do like right here. And it's kind of rotated weird, so rotate it on the green axis on the side. Go back to Q, and we're going to lower that ever so slightly to get this. So when you put your house down, one thing you might notice is that there's like some grass in here. So if you don't want grass inside your house, what you need to do, or like grass on the roads and stuff, what you need to do is you actually need to like go to your terrain, which I kind of like this look. I mean, it makes it look a little bit more apocalyptic. I don't like the flowers as much. I'm going to take those off. Bake that. So you can see there's like grass in there. What you need to do is go to your materials and then select like gravel or something else that you haven't used. And then just kind of draw underneath the house a little bit. It will like, gravel seems a little weird. Like it locks to like the points around the house. You can see kind of it's like messing up. So I'll go back with grass after this and like make it look a little bit better. And then we'll go to grass and we'll just kind of draw this a little bit here. Okay, so now we got like gravel underneath the house. If we go back to details, you'll still see that there's like some grass inside. But since there's gravel underneath here now, instead of grass, if we go to bake details, you can see that the grass goes away. So because it's not on grass, it's not going to go through the floor. Now, I don't really care so much because I like the overgrowth looking kind of style of things. And so that's fine by me. Now, what I want to do is I want to actually kind of make a map. And so I'll show you, I don't know what happened here. Something got messed up. Not entirely sure. I want this to look stone again. There's like dirt and everything in there. Interesting. Not entirely sure what happened. It just, you know, things take a while to learn and mess around with to figure things out, but you get it fairly easily. It's not very hard. So okay, so let's say we want to I don't know, I'm gonna make some like hilly areas. Whoops. So I kind of like this look too, with like grass coming over the road. It's like kind of overgrown, but I'm gonna lower it a little bit. That's too much. Strength is too high. So you can change the strength if it's like too much, and like gradually do it. That's at 0, so it's not gonna do anything. Gradually do it so it's not too extreme. You can also change the size if you want to do like an entire area or something. I do like this look, so I think I'm gonna keep it like that ever so slightly. So you could still drive on this maybe. Maybe like that. So I want kind of a hilly area. I'm going to go to raise. I'm going to change the size to like... He needs to add in like an option for like the quantity of like what you want it to be at. I'm going to add like a gentle hill right here. Because I really like the hilly area. Now you can smooth things out too, like if if things are a little too rough looking, you can click smooth and do that. And also, if let's say that you have ooh, that's kind of cool looking. It looks like there's like some kind of like mudslide or something. Let's say that you have like you want to lower everything back down. Let's say you just don't like it. Go to flatten, change your height to whatever this base height is that you want. So like 17, I think is mine. And then you just like flatten it from there. That's how you do that. It's pretty easy. Yeah, so I want kind of a hilly area. Just because I want it to look kind of cool. Lower, let's lower this back down. That was too much, I think. Because you can see like the road kind of floats like that. So let's... Alright, whatever. It's fine. I don't care really what it looks like that much. And I'm doing this because what I want to do is I want to show you what things can kind of look like with a single house and like a ton of trees. So we go to resources, and I'll show you how to save it and stuff here too. I want the density high, chance high, high, and let's bake this. So now you can see that there's trees everywhere, but there's no trees in our house because I mean there's some trees going through the house. If you want to change that, you can try to go mess with the chance. No trees on our mountain or in the water because we don't have it selected at on rock, and obviously it's not going to be in the water. But it's just so many trees, and it looks really cool. Now let's say I want some more trees on this area, so we can bake resources over and over again to just kind of get like a randomized chance of things until you find something you like. Like I like that, it's kind of cool. And now we have this house just off by itself. So let's say this is what I was going to do. Whatever. I don't know. Let's say you have 2 bases and you have a clan battle or something. You want to put loot in here. You want to have loot spawn somewhere. First and foremost, let's go to player spawn, and let's put the spawn over here. Now this is the size of a person. It's actually represented by the size. You can change the angle, and I believe that radius is the essentially like where in the circle he could spawn. We want him to spawn like right here, and like let's put another spawn like on the top of the hill. Now let's say we want to have a loot spawn in here. What you need to do is you need to go to items. Animals and vehicles aren't in yet, and you want to create a new table. So let's say we want military loot mainly to spawn in this building. Military, and we're going to add that, and this is to differentiate between different areas. So we have military selected, and you can change, like you can color code like what your loot's going to be. So like let's say I want this to be like a bright green or something. Change the tier, make sure you add a tier. So let's do common, cumin, common, add, and then you want to make another tier unless you want all common loot to spawn here. You want the chance to be like, let's say you just want common loot. So if we go into the building here and we put down some like loot chances of different things, let's just say we want a bunch of crap to spawn in here, and let's say we want something to spawn in here too. And then like let's say that we want some loot spawns. Let's say we want some basic stuff up here for this guy. So we can do something like this. So let's do rare and add that. So you can, oh, okay, yeah, you have to have 2. So we want more rare to spawn than common. Now, whatever is, you have to attribute different values to this. So if you wanted to just have 1 spawn and it was like Timberwolf or something, you can actually set that up. Now, there's only certain things in game right now, so there's not a lot of like ID choices. But let's say we wanted to go 14% common, and we wanted to have a couple different things: shades, jeans, orange hoodie. What's a D-pack? No, we don't want that under 14. No, that's iron sights. 7. I think there's 17 options currently. Nope, don't want that. Day pack, so it's 9. So those are the things that would spawn under common, right? So if we go to rare, you can see it goes away. Common has all that stuff. Rare has let's see, 4 I think it was, AR-32. So 85% chance to spawn an AR-32 and 14% chance to spawn, let's see, where's the water at or something? Police vest, let's put that under rare too. So that's 10. Bandana, don't really care about that. Just trying to find a water. Don't care about Ushanka. Canned beans, 13. And 14 is water, probably. And then let's put, what was that, 11? Nope, 10 maybe. Okay, so under rare, it's 85% chance to spawn either an AR-32 or police vest. Under common, you have a 14% chance to spawn one of all these different things, okay? So we got our item spawn point set up. We've got our player spawn point set up. And now we should be good to load the level. So let's go hit escape. Make sure you click save. Okay. Now your map should be saved. Now to load your map, what you need to do is go back to the main screen here, go into the server portion that you create. If you don't know how to do that, watch Nelson's video on how to make a server for yourself and make sure that the server is set up to run whatever the map name is. And he goes through all that stuff in that video. So once you have your server configured, now all you need to do is go to play, go to servers, make sure that you have the map selected here that you want to search for. So test, refresh LAN, and you can see that I have unturned on test 0 out of 64, which is how many people I have able to play on my server, and just click on it and it should load you in. And as you can see, I've spawned on top of the sill here. And oh, what is this? A police vest laying right here on the ground for me to maybe pick up if I can. Oh, I have this. I already have a gun. Okay, so we can pick that up, put that on. Voila. We'll leave that there because we're going to go find what we can find. So look at this. I'm currently getting about 65 frames. And I've kind of figured out what adds to your FPS problems. One is foliage, and 2 are the little pebbles. Pebbles are the biggest problem of FPS. They kill your FPS. So look at how thick this area is. It's crazy. Can you imagine battling through here? So we've got this big old huge map. I'm going down the road here, going up to our military location, which, you know, in the future could be like a military outpost or something, whatever you want it to do, you know, whatever you want to make it. I don't know. I'm going to go into the house here, and what do we have? We got a gun laying right here on the ground. And here's some common stuff. We have a police vest back here. Remember, it's a larger chance to spawn rare stuff, so you'd have to mess with the loot chances, because you can see there wasn't a lot of common stuff in there. You'd obviously want to have more common stuff probably spawn in there, or more loot nodes, but that's how you do that. I mean, it's very simple to make a map once you kind of get some of the basics down, and even then, I mean, things can still be a little confusing. And, you know, you'd probably want to make the water a little bit deeper maybe, so it looks a little bit more realistic. You can change the sky color and things like that, and I can show you how to do that if you want to see that. It was in my other video, but essentially you just go into the lighting, into the environment area, and change that there. So you can see this is a very deep, I mean, it kind of gets deep, but also this isn't that big of a map, so you want to make like a bigger map if you want to. But you can see, you can probably have a nice little clan battle on this map or something. Maybe you make a map that's just for clan battles or something, like an arena. Let's check out our mountain. I like the overgrowth look, like going through the roads and stuff. I like that look a lot more than having it look clean. More apocalyptic. So like I said, remember in the future you can probably bake stones and stuff on here to mine. Currently it's not in game, I don't think. And yeah, you can't climb up that, it's too steep, but we can climb up that, which is, so if you wanted a legit mountain, you'd have to change, I think, the steepness maybe or something. I'm not entirely sure how to make it so you can't climb up. But yeah, here we go, we're on top of the mountain. There's our road that goes through the water. It's a sunken bridge. So yeah, guys, that's how you set up a map. It's very simple to do. Once you kind of get the hang of things, it's not too hard. I still have a couple issues and some things I need to work out, but other than that, could you imagine fighting in here? It's crazy. So let's go back to the editor, and let's do a couple more things, because there's some more things I kind of want to look at and show you. real fast. So if we wanted to change the lighting, what you need to do is you need to go to environment, lighting, and then you could change the like, let's say sky. Let's say you always want the sky to be kind of like a really light blue or something. I don't know, like this, some crazy blue color. Like that's really blue. Like that doesn't look too bad. Very bright blue. You could do something like that. Change the different like if you want it to be you know, a darker blue or something at midnight, like getting closer to the night. How would we do that? Kind of a hueish maybe, like a something like that. And then you can also add in like fog midday. So I think it's midday right now. So you could how do we change the, oh yeah, the amount of everything's down here. So like if you wanted more, like a ton of fog during the day or something, or in the morning, you can change that there. I'm going to take that off because I don't really like that. You can change the cloud density during the day. Shadows, you can do a lot of different stuff. You know, I think obviously you can take the clouds off or have barely any clouds if you, I think that'd probably improve FPS. So you make an FPS conscious map, you know, keep in mind clouds, foliage, pebbles, trees, that kind of stuff. And then let's say that we want to add like some overgrowth to this. This is like where the vines would come in. So let's see what vine looks like. Vine 1. Remember, that's E. I think that looks like a corner maybe. So if we wanted that to be on a corner of the building, you do something like that. Probably would look best on a tree maybe. Maybe we'll rotate this a bit. Kind of do that. So you can see that now it's like going through the house, which looks kind of cool. So maybe it just looks crappy when you put it down like that. So let's oh yeah, okay, never mind. That looks really cool. I like that. So then you can add overgrowth like that. Let's see. I think this maybe is for a bush maybe. No, I think you actually put bushes as like objects you can place. Maybe want like some vines covering the doorway or something. That looks cool. So yeah, that's how you add overgrowth, so if you want to do that kind of thing. So if you guys want your friends to play on your map, there's Jacko hiding behind a tree, and this is Singed right here. Spirit's trying to get on right now. What you need to do is, you need to take your overall test folder that you find in the Unturned section of your program files, in the Unturned section underneath Steam. Find your folder that you name, so mine is named test, and it'll be listed alongside like dev test. That's how you know you're in the right spot. And then you need to zip that, upload it to the internet, and send it to your friends. Since Workshop is, we're recording by the way, since Workshop is not currently working, you need to send it to your friends. They will unzip it to the dev test location, not in the dev test folder, but alongside the dev test. So there'll be dev test and then your map name as well. So test will be in there. And once you send that to your friends and they have downloaded it, then they can connect to you, and they should be able to load up into the into your map. Yeah, so guys, I think that is gonna be it for this video. Hopefully that made a little bit more sense and you like that video a little bit more than the last one, because I know it was a little bit different. That's how you make a map. Very, very basic, very simple to do, and it's, you know, it only goes from here because more objects are going to be put into the game, more things coming, and it's definitely going to be a lot better in the future. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure to click that thumbs up button below. Feel free to subscribe for more content from Unturned and other games. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.